Videos month. Today we're going to be looking over two upcoming new from the depths tanks. Over here we have the hammer, and over here we have the tank called the FV99967. Now, the hammer is basically, it's a turreted tank destroyer. Very slim but incredibly long chassis, incredibly large turret, but a lot of ERA plating. Unfortunately, the lower plate does not have ERA plating, but as you can see here, there is a lot of spaced armor. I've tried every type of weapon. I've tried railguns, kinetic, chemicals, missiles. The only type of weapon that goes through all these layers of armor is a high velocity round from a long barreled railgun. The turret, on the other hand, is slightly weaker, unfortunately. So long-barreled kinetic weapons, or just barreled kinetic weapons with really large shells, will be able to go through the turret. Not when there's ERA plating on the turret, of course. But once the ERA is depleted, then you can go through it. So right now I've got my amazing FV99967. This tank is what I like to call as the Doom Slugger. The reason why I call it the Doom Slugger is because, one, it's got a very, very, very strong upper plate. Lower plate is non-existent. This is not counted as a hitbox. So if you hit here, all you're going to do is just destroy the wheels. You're not going to do any damage. Now, this tank doesn't have ERA, but it is loaded to the absolute teeth with armor. Each block is about a meter thick, so that's about 1,000 millimeters worth of armor, and this is heavy composite armor. So this is around 2,000 to 3,000 millimeters worth of composite armor. Now, because the gun on the hammer is smaller, it's only a 402mm gun, while the FV99967, I have to come up with a new name for this, has a whopping 500mm gun. The shell is around 60 centimeters in length. Not a very long shell, but it packs an absolute punch if it hits somebody. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to fire a round right at the hammer. So right about there. See what it does. And it did destroy all the ERA, but there's no damage to the upper plate. Now give ourselves time to let our gun just replenish itself. I think it's done about now. I will fire a new shot into the now naked upper plate. Hopefully I'll do some damage. No damage whatsoever. It did destroy a couple of 2 ERA plates here. No, actually 3, sorry. But it bounced right off. It hit the upper plate here, ricocheted off, and hit the ERA plate there. This is a formidable opponent. If you come across this tank, if you like playing like PvP or multiplayer, and say like somebody has this tank, they get it off the workshop or something like that, and you see this, do not fight it frontally. You will not get through its armor at the front. My best bet is deplete the ERA on the top here. Once you've done that, you can wreak havoc. Your best bet is to aim for this little slit right here. It's a tiny little target, but if you are smaller, my best bet is probably the lower glaciers. The lower glaciers is kinda weaker. I mean, it does have one less spaced armor, but it seems to be slightly thicker, really. The sides and rear of the tank are incredibly weak, very weak. They are susceptible to all kinds of large caliber fire. Railgun will just penetrate right through. So railgun, you could use it, but because the sides and rear are incredibly weak, they're gonna go right through the sides and rear. They could be alright to go through the front glaciers, but you're gonna have to get rid of the ERA first, because railguns do not go through ERA. And I could have a chat with some of you guys if you say ERA can go through ERA. No, railguns can go through ERA, but it can't. So if I fire a shot into the low glaciers, no, it bounced off and hit the floor and destroyed all the ERA. Yeah, that's a problem. This is, bear in mind, this is a tank that I made. And it seems to be probably the most broken thing in the game. I mean, it even has like a special. I don't know what I did. I mean, some of you could like complain, say like I made an absolutely horrifically overpowered tank, but I mean the gun's balanced. Cough, cough. I mean, the shell travels incredibly fast, and it can go incredibly far away. You can snipe with the hammer. With this, not so much. I mean, this tank takes a little bit more patience. You're not going through there. There's no way you're gonna go through here. Let me just check what kind of shell I'm using. I'm pretty sure I'm using a Saber shell. If I'm not, I feel I'm gonna be stupid. AP caps. What if I just change that to a Saber? Change that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear clips. Wait for that to reload. Hopefully. Is that gonna reload? Ah, there you go. So let's try a Saber round. I haven't tried a Saber round on the tank yet, so. Oh! Oh! What on earth happened there? I think it bounced off and hit the gun. Jesus. Turns out that Saber rounds, that was a Saber round, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was a Saber round. Is it Saber, or am I just being horrifically stupid? That was Saber, wasn't it? Containing... What are they containing? Clear clips. Access intake. Oh! That's why! My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Give me a sec, let me have a look. Let me have a look. No. That's for the gun. Let's change this to a sabot head. Now let's clear the clips. Give it a bit time to... Somehow they're not loading. I don't understand why they're not loading. They should be loading. Ah! There you go. You loaded? It should load. Ooh, my bad. Come on, load. Thank you. Now this is a sabot round. This isn't squash head that I was using. This is a sabot round. I think this might penetrate. Yeah, officially, this is the most broken tank in the game. Sabot rounds don't penetrate. Railgun rounds do not penetrate ERA, but they do have a 50-50 chance of going right through the spaced armor. I say 50-50. I don't want anybody twisting that. So please don't twist that and say railguns have a definite chance to penetrate. I mean, if you've tested it, then yeah, alright. But if you haven't, please do not twist it, because I don't like it when people do that. So yeah. This tank is impenetrable at the front, with ERA loaded, of course. I mean, if it had like completely like flat ERA, I think it would be a little bit more easier to go through. But the low glacier seems to be a real pain to get through. That's a huge amount of SA. A lot of spaced armor. Okay, now. Okay, let's talk about the other parts of the hammer. The turret is going to be also a problem because one, it has it has explosive reactive armor at the front. At the side it has spaced armor, but at the rear it has this like kind of like funny configuration. It's like angled armor at the rear. You want to aim here, because this is where I believe, yeah, this is where the gun breach is, just like right here. So if you hit here, you're going to destroy the gun. If you like hit here, it could ricochet off. It could bounce off, hit here, and yeah. If you only see the turret, then hit the back of the turret. But if you see the hole and the turret, aim for the hole, because the ammo is located right behind this armor package. And yes, this does have a quadruple road wheel, so yeah, this is more maneuverable in a way. So for example, if I were to start the engine, oh, I'm in the wrong tank. My bad. Let me get in the right tank. Yeah, it's at the front. So this actually is a pretty fast machine. I mean, once you get up to speed, of course. You have to be careful not to flip your tank. Like this. I mean, it's prone to flipping. I forgot what kind of shell I've got loaded. The turret does take a formidable long time to turn. I mean, because it's like a heavy tank / medium tank, but yeah, that kind of yeah. So the gun is actually really crap on this tank. I think that balances it out really. What kind of shape charge? Shape charge secondary. What if I use a Sabot round? Use a Sabot. Clear clips. If I use a Sabot round, that should help. In a way. Because this is a 402mm. And the shell is faster. Yeah, that punched right through. That punched right through the back of the tank. So the gun works really well with Sabots. Sabot rounds. The turret turns god awfully slow because it's got so much armor on it. But this tank comes with a secondary. Oh yeah. Not a very powerful secondary. It is an 18mm. Just an 18mm gun, really. I mean, it's a 4-meter long barrel, so it's like 6 barrels. I wish the barrels actually turned, but hey. This does come with a Sabot head, so these will penetrate aircraft, lightly armored, water-based vehicles, lightly armored land vehicles. It can do significant damage to unprotected equipment like guns, ammo, engines. It does added damage. Unfortunately, it has 75% less explosive damage or explosiveness, but I think it's fair, really. To be honest, this is what I would call as a pretty good tank gun, sorry. It is slow firing, so I mean, don't expect to shoot down planes like that. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to lead the target and make sure that every shell hits. But the biggest weakness of this tank is the top heavy turret. Do not turn sharp corners when you go really fast. You will tip this tank over. The biggest strength for this tank is, I mean, you could kind of understand or see what the biggest strength is. Its armor. Its armor is stupidly good. Missiles, railguns, kinetic weapons, chemical weapons, all kinds really. Some of you are probably like going to ask me like, why did I not put any like shields on? Because I don't think this needs shields. I mean, putting shields on it, it'll make it a good bad situation, because for one, if you put shields on it, you're going to have to get rid of the ELA. As soon as the shields are depleted, you're going to have railguns go right through this. If the railgun is a very large railgun, it will just go right through it, really. Medium-sized railguns, 50-50. Small railguns, just give up. Just give up, really. Just turn around and run for your lives, or try and circle this thing. But big railguns, you're going to want to get rid of the ERA first. If you fire, you're going to hit this ERA. Please do not hit here. Even if it's a railgun, it will just bounce right off. It's slanted at 85 degrees. Think about that for a second. This is 1,000mm slanted at 85 degrees. Or 80 degrees, something like that. Around the 80 mark. Just do not, this is a no penetration zone. Well, I mean, if you fire from above, then yeah. I mean, 1,000mm, no problem with 40 bolt. I mean, if you're an aircraft with a pretty large caliber gun, aim for here, because this is really where the ammo is really located. Here. Another big weakness of the tank, if you fire and it misses here, oh god, it could bounce off and hit here and detonate here. You could inflict some damage. What you're gonna really want to do is incapacitate this tank. Either hit the gun, destroy it with a high explosive round, hit the tracks. What? How the hell are you gonna? I mean, look at this for a second, right? Look how, if you're like at this distance, how the hell are you gonna hit that? It's a big ass target. All you can see is this armor plating right here. You're gonna if he's if you come across a player using this tank and he's side scraping and you are silly enough to fire here, it's gonna make a shot off. Like, here is a no fire zone, here's a no fire zone, here in another way. Again, 50-50, because if he's angled like that, you're going to be shooting in and it's going to be like hitting him. So that's just over 1,200mm of armor, because it's, again, it's angled, because you're aiming at a different angle. You're not aiming like face on, you're at an angle. If you are on a mountain, you see it. Oh god, what can you hit? He's aiming up at you and you're on the mountain. Like, shoot down, like, maybe in here. Maybe you can catch it in here or something. But if you can, like, just like go around and just shoot him from behind, the exhaust pipes may be an option. The wheels, you're gonna want to take out the wheels. Unfortunately, the inner wheels, they are protected by the troll armor. The outer wheels are not, so the outer wheels could be a feasible option to destroy, but he'll again still have maneuverability. Will be slightly incapacitated because he'll be more prone to flipping over. But again, you're going to want to be incredibly careful with the tank, because if he sees you, it is game over. Like, he can it's turn slowly, but as soon as he locks on, he's just going to be like, and that's the end of you. So this tank is stupidly powerful. I don't know what you guys think about this tank, but I'm not sure if I should release it into the workshop, because, I mean, for one, I don't want to make it unfair for people. But for two, I don't want people to take the credit from me. I really don't want that happening, because I have had it happen once already, and I don't want it happening again. And I'm gonna try and turn the tank. Trying to turn, trying to turn, trying to turn, and stop right there. Right. So, Hammer, the most broken tank in the game. Not in the game. Yeah, in the game. I keep on thinking back to what tank's logic, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, if this was in one of the tanks, it will be the most broken tank. I mean, yeah, it won't have thousands of millimeters of armor. It'll probably like the low glaciers will probably be the biggest weak spot of this tank. The gun will probably be 120 millimeter, but I mean, still, I mean. It has like 4 sets of wheels. I mean, that's an incredible achievement already. I mean, you have insane maneuverability with this thing. But again, you want to be careful when turning corners. So yeah, that's the Hammer. Beautiful little tank. Amazing. Oh god, why am I moving on to this? This is your term of absolutely just give up. The gun is stupid. I mean, you fire and you're just like, why do we look at that? It went underneath the tank. It destroyed wheels. It destroyed ERA. Did it? Wait, hang on a minute. Did it actually? Did it actually? Whoa! It destroyed the engine. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. Really. So yeah, that's not very good. Thing really. The gun on top is very fast firing gun. I mean, you could use it to take targets out. Not very feasible because you run out of ammo incredibly fast, but still. Very, very deadly tank. It meant the gun mountlet. That depleted all ERA on the turret. And it actually destroyed some ERA on the lower glaciers. It did no damage to the turret itself. I say that and I'm probably going to find like a massive hole inside of the turret or something like that. Seems fine. So let's go over the stats of the FV99967. I'm going to give it an actual name. I might call it the Dominator or something like that. As you can always see with the end of the gun is slightly wider. And the reason why I did this is to give it a bit of a weird look. And yes, it has a lot of bore. I don't know how to say that. Evacuator. I'm so sorry I have a speech impediment. I'm sorry. This is your term of hell. It really is. I mean, you hit this tank, it's gonna ding right off. If you hit the so-called cough cough low glaciers that doesn't exist, it's only gonna damage the drive rules. If you hit the upper glaciers, it's gonna bounce right off. The weird thing is that it's got less spaced armor than the Hammer, but the Hammer is faster. The reason why the Hammer is faster is because the Hammer is smaller. This carries a whopping 500mm gun. This is a humongous gun. It is a big gun. It is the biggest of all big guns. This gun will slap you so hard it will disintegrate your atoms. This gun is... it's a ship killer. This thing kills ships. It struggles to kill aircraft. It obliterates land vehicles. It can't destroy this vehicle, of course. I mean, it can incapacitate it badly, destroy its engine, things like that, with its massive explosive damage. But this is your typical tank destroyer. No turret, rear mounted, but hey, because hey, I mean, I did try and make the whole model of like the mouths. I mean, as you can see here, a guard like here, right here. This adds up to 1,000 millimeters. This is 2,000 millimeters, 3,000. This is 3,000 millimeters already of armor. It's stupid. This gun penetrates without the ERA right here. If the shell was just complete saber, this gun would not just penetrate the front glaciers. It would go right through, carry on penetrating, destroy everything inside, and come out the other end. This is by far the deadliest tank. You could either fire a full round HE, full round AP, full round APCR, or full round Sabre. APFSDS. Oh god, I've been enjoying this tank a lot. Right now, I've got a... Did I just really miss that? Oh god, I'm such a bad shot. Right now, this has a full round of loaded HE with a Sabot head. Remember, Sabot loses 75% of its explosive mass. It doesn't affect the other parts of the shell. It just affects, like, say, Sabot head from the Scott right now. It loses 75% of its explosive mass, so it only has 25% left. But it doesn't affect the other parts of the shell. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire again. Fire, and that completely annihilated all the ERA except from the side plates here. This is a deadly tank. I mean, it's an HE spammer, it's an AP spammer, it's an APFSDS. Not so much Sabot spammer, most definitely a Sabot spammer. This thing will spam Sabot for days. This thing will ruin your day with HE or Sabot rounds. AP is useless in this tank. Yes, I just did say that AP is useless, and yes, I just did say a couple of seconds ago that this is an AP spammer. I was meant to say APCR. I apologise for that. AP, just don't use it. Do not use AP in this. It won't even penetrate bloody wooden tanks. I mean, it's that bad. Also, your shells, they're going to have to be around 80 to 90% gunpowder because the shell is so big. It is so heavy. The gun needs to be incredibly long so that when it fires, it picks up more and more speed, and as soon as it leaves, it's propelled by a massive cloud of death. Just comes towards you and just slaps you in the face. If this was in water tanks, this would ruin your day. This is basically the Object 268 version 4 on quadruple steroids. This is your term of hell. This will I don't even know. I mean, look how he. Look at this. It's got 6 sets of road wheels. That will be 6 sets of tracks. You would probably think, oh wow, this would be incredibly maneuverable. The engine is weak. The engine isn't that powerful. Just to show you, yeah, that's what powers it. Yeah. The engine is incredibly weak. It's about a. This is about a. A 250-ton machine, 260. So it is heavier than the Mouse. The Mouse is 188 tons, I believe. And it's powered by a 800 horsepower engine. I believe. I think it is. I think this is 800 horsepower. Yeah, I think it is. Just to show you the maneuverability. I mean, it is maneuverable, but it does take time to get up to speed. It isn't the most maneuverable machine. Oh, that is really flying now. It's a very maneuverable machine, but it can be flanked easily. Fight the low glaciers. I think I hit the ground just in front of the tank. I still don't know how to. The gun arcs are like. The gun arcs are really good. Really good. Unfortunately, you can't really use its gun depression because it is a rear mounted tank destroyer. But that's its gun arc. Its gun arc is massive. Beautiful gun arc. You can shoot around corners like an absolute boss. This is actually a very good side scraper as well. I mean, if you like, I mean, side scraping works in this game. If you're side scraping, you pick around the corner. The armor here is fantastic. You do have a sort of a weak spot here. It is incredibly hard to hit, but if you do, it's going to deplete the armor underneath. It is just like normal steel armor. I know that some of you guys that play FTD will be like saying like, what do you mean by composite armor? Like, this is heavy armor. The reason why I say composite armor is because this is actually meant to like act like composite armor. So this has the same characteristics as metal or steel armor, but it's composite armor, so it's like 10 times stronger. It is heavier. Unfortunately, I don't understand why it's heavier. It should be lighter. But it is a massive boost in armor. It's massive. So let's try this again. Try aiming for the glaciers this time. Didn't penetrate, but if you could just see a slight colorization of the armor block there, did damage it ever so slightly with its HE round. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to completely change the round. I'm going to change it to probably a... I might change it to a... increased AP, okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click I'm going to wait for this to actually load. So we're going to see what a saber round does with this gun, because this gun is basically a mini Gustav. See if it penetrates. No, but it did do additional. Oh no, it did. It destroyed the first layer of armor. Oh, it's completely. It penetrated. It penetrated the armor. So, turns out that this tank, the Hammer, does have a weak spot against Saber. That's one thing I forgot to test. But it is, I think it may only be acceptable with guns larger than 450mm. Let's just try that again, see if it wasn't just a dud. And that here. Oh my god, what did that hit? Oh my god! Holy Jesus! It went straight through the tank. The lower glaciers is weak as hell. This game does not give an absolute toss about spaced armor. It really does not. This tank is it's just why bring this to a fight? I mean, it's going to win anyway. All you have to do is just drive up to a fight and everybody will just run away screaming. Let's see if we can penetrate the little bit out there. Did that penetrate? Oh, looked like it did. Oh, that's... Oh! Dude, it did penetrate! Oh my god! It did penetrate. It went straight through the little slit right here. So the biggest massive weak spot for Sabot rounds is the RA. Now, I'm actually pretty glad that this tank does have two weak spots. I want to see if it can penetrate the armor that is slanted like 85 degrees or something like that. If it can, I will literally just quit this game. Aim it again. On the way. It seems to have damaged. Oh, it didn't go completely through, but it did go through 2 layers of slanted composite armor. That's scary. That is. I can't even explain. So, I will be releasing these 2 tanks onto the Steam Workshop, and I really do hope that you guys like it. I will release this video before I upload these tanks to the workshop because I want to see what you guys think. There will be a vote. I mean, what tank do you want me to nerf or buff? Do you want me to nerf or buff the FV? Or do you want me to nerf or buff the Hammer? I really want to hear your comments in the comment section. Because to be honest, in my opinion, the Hammer can do with more of a nerf than a buff, and the FV could have a maneuverability nerf, a mega maneuverability nerf. Like I'm talking about something like nerf it to extremes. I may make its engine a lot weaker, maybe about a 500 horsepower engine. I may buff its gun, but I won't do any of that, not until you guys say, like, should this tank be buffed? Should this tank be nerfed? Or should that tank be buffed? Should that tank be nerfed? Also, another thing is, what is your favourite tank? To be honest, I do like the FE more in style and firepower. The hammer definitely has my liking for armor. Its armor is stupidly strong. Not against Sabot. Sabot cuts through it like hot knife through butter. I may have to change that. I might make the lower glaciers stronger, and that slit. I may just leave the little opening, the little slit here. I may just leave that as like a weak spot. Low glaciers, I might just patch up. I might just buff that. I might just put like a one layer here and just leave like a little tiny bit at the bottom where people have to actually aim instead of like firing cough cough gold ammo, aka Sabot rounds. But yeah, it does have side panels as well, so that's good. So yeah, Sabot rounds are definitely the best the worst enemy of this tank. I may also change how this tank's wheels are designed. May make the wheels slightly out more so it doesn't flip over. Or I may make the turret just lighter, really. I'm definitely gonna nerf the minigun on top of the FE. I'm definitely gonna nerf that because that will be a really dangerous anti-air. It could be anti-air, but at the same time, it can't shoot right up. I mean, you're gonna have to turn it around and just shoot right up. The anti-air on this is actually, it's slow firing, but it really hurts when it hits you. Oh, I don't really know. With the hammer, it's definitely got the more liking of armor, but with the FV's definitely got the firepower. The FE has more angled armor when you think about it. If you look at the FE, it definitely has more angled armor. The hammer, it's more boxy, and I think that kind of makes it as a letdown, because Sabot can just go right through it like it's made of nothing. The turret is a massive weak spot. I may put like a armor package or something on there. The FE is definitely, if the FE goes hold down, not even Sabot will go through it. It's game over for anybody who's driving another tank. The hammer is not designed to fire Sabot. I have to get out of the way. It's more designed as like a HE flinging gun, so fire more HE. And maybe AP is the worst shell you could use from the depths, but you could use AP in this tank. I will be changing the shells in these tanks before I upload them to the Steam Workshop. But also, these were not tanks that my subscribers asked for. These were just tanks I made out of, like, when I was bored, and I think they are spectacular machines. They will probably break world tanks if Wargaming puts them into the game. They never will, because I mean, hey, the FV is basically the Object 268 version 4 on steroids, and the hammer is basically just a KV2 that's got armor for once. I don't know. Other than that, I love these two tanks. I'm so glad I built them. So glad I was bored on that day because I made two spectacular tanks. There is a lot of key differences between these two tanks. Obviously, one's a tank destroyer, the other one is like a heavy tank / medium tank. But other than that, I will see you guys in hopefully the next episode, and hopefully I will see some of your comments in the comment section below, see what tank you like the most. So I'll see you guys whenever. Bye.